Hi friends, I'm Parvez, and in this video we're going to learn that how you can deploy your Django REST Framework project to Heroku. Now before starting our main topic, if you're interested in learning Django and Django REST Framework, you can join my course. I have added the link in the video description. There are different sections in this course, like building a blog application, chatbot integration with Django app. We have a question and answer app in Django, Django REST Framework, a complete overview on Django REST Framework, and also there are different topics that you can learn in this course. So if you're interested, you can just check the video description. So now let's create our project. So I've already created a new project in the PyCharm ID. So you can just click on new project, and from here you can give the name of the project and you can choose virtual environment. Now after this we need to install Django, so I can just say pip install Django, and also we are going to install Django REST Framework. So let me just copy this, and now so let's just wait for the installation of Django, and after Django we are going to install Django REST Framework. Now let's paste in here and Django REST Framework. Okay, now it's also installed. Now let's create our project. So I'm going to just say Django admin start project, and let me just call it my project. So now if you see in here, my project has been created. This is our settings.py file, urls.py file, wsgi file. So if you want to know about these, for example, Django framework, you can just check my course on Udemy. So after creating of the project in Django, now in the settings.py file, let's add our Django REST framework and installed apps. So now, so first you need to install that. After that, we can just say REST framework. So let me add that in here. Okay. Now after this, we need to create our app. So now let me just change directory to my project, and in here I can just say Python manage.py start app, and you need to give the app name. So that should be my app. Okay. So now we have our my app in here, and also we have our my project. Let's also add this my app and the installed app of settings.py file like this. Okay, so now after doing this, let's create our model. So first we need to just say python manage.py migrate. Let's just migrate. And now let's run this. We can run our project python manage.py run server. So now it's our local host. If I open this, you can see that this is our Django. Now also you can set up this in the PyCharm ID. So you can just go to the add configuration, and from here add new Python, and the script path is let me just find manage.py. So in the my project manage.py, and this should be run server apply. Okay, now we can run through this. So now it's running. Okay, so now after creating of our project and also our app, let's create our model. So we're going to just create a simple model. So I'm going to, for example, call it article model, and it extends from models.model. We should have a simple title. So basically a model is, for example, our table name in the database, and these are the fields we have. We want a title field and models, and it should be a car field or char field. We can give a max length, of 250, and we want a description or body and models.text field. It should be a text field, or we can just use it cover field or char field, and we can add a max length of, for example, 500. So now it's created. Also, we need to just create the str, because in that main panel, or first let me just after creating of the model, now we need to just migrate, because we have created our model. Now first we need to just say python manage.py make migrations, and after that we can just say migrate. So now this is created. Let's create a super user for our project. Python manage.py create super user. So we can give the username, we can give an email address, and also you can give a password. So let me just give a password like this. So now the super user is created. Now if I go to that main panel, so we can just go to that main panel, so login, let me just log in. So now you can see that we have our admin panel, and now we need to register our this model that we have created, article model, in the admin panel. So for that we need to open our admin.py file. This is the place that you can register your models. So first we need to import that from .models, import article model, and after that I can just say admin.site.register, and I want to register my admin model. So now if I check here, so you can see I have articles model. We can add article. So for example, I want to add this as the first title, this is the description. We can save this. So you can see we have our first article. Now let's change this article object to string. So now in the models.py file we can just add def str, and we can return self.title. So now if I refresh this, you can see that we have our first title in here. Alright guys, now we have our Django project. It's time to create our serializer. Before sending our data to the client, we need to serialize the data. So for that we need to create a serializer .py file. So now in the my app, I'm going to just create a new file, and I'm going to just call it serializers.py file. Now we need to import serializers from the REST framework. So I can just say from REST framework, so let me just make it like this. So from REST framework, import serializers, and also from .models we are going to import article model. Now we need to create our article serializer, and it extends from now there are different serializer classes. If you want to know about Django REST framework and different type of serializer classes, then you can check my Udemy course. So now in here we are going to use the model serializer, and we can just say .model serializer. And in a model serializer, when you're using a model serializer, you need to just specify your model and your fields. So according to that model, it will serialize the data. So in the class meta, first we need to add our model. So according to which model we want to serialize the data. So that is our article model, and what fields we want. So for example, if you see models.py file, we have title, body. So you can add like this, so title and also body, or if you want all the fields. Now right now you can see that in here we have two fields, but also we have an ID field, and that's auto created. And for example, if you want to all fields, then also you can add ID in here like this. So for example, ID, or you can use __ all. So like this. Okay. So now we have created our serializer, article serializer class. After that, we need to create our view set. So now we need to open our views.py file. So this is our views.py file, and here now this is the place that when you're using Django as a full stack, for example, when you're building backend and frontend in Django, then this is the place that you can create your, for example, views, and you can render your HTML files. But in here we are going to use view sets because we are building backend REST API, not frontend. So first we need to import view set. I can just say from REST framework import view sets, and we need to import our model. So from .models import article model, and from .serializer file we are going to import article serializer. Now let's create our class article view set. Also, there are different view sets that you can use in Django REST framework, and here we are going to use model view set. So I can just say view set dot model view set. Now in the model view set you need to specify two fields. Now the first one is the query set, and the query set we are retrieving all the data, so we can just say query set, and in here we need to get all the data from the article model, so we can just say article dot objects dot all, and after that you need to specify the serializer class, so that should be article serializer. Okay, so now we have our view set. Now the last thing that we need to create, that is our urls.py file, because we need to create routers and we need to connect this view set to the router. For that, in the my app I'm going to create another Python file. Let me just call it urls.py file, and then here first we need to import. So from Django.urls we are going to import path and also include, and from REST framework dot routers we are going to import default router, and also from dot views we need to import our article view set. So this is the view set that we have created, and we need to import that in here. Now the first thing is that you need to create your router, and we can just say default router, and after that we need to register our router, so we can just say register, and I can give API, and in here I need to add my view set, and that is article view set. And after that we need to just create URL patterns like this, patterns. Okay, and in here we need to just say path, and in the path we need to include our this router, so I can just say include, and I can say router dot urls. So now after doing this, also we need to add our this urls.py file in our main project urls.py file. So right now Django doesn't know about this urls.py file. For that reason, if you see in our my project, in here we have urls.py file, and we need to include this. And in this section I need to import include, so include, and in here I can just say path, and I want to include, and I want to include from my app urls.py file, so I can just say my app dot urls. So now we have our main urls.py file, and this is our urls.py file for the app. Now let's check that it is working or not. Now let me just go to localhost port 8000. Now you can see this is our API route, and if I click on this, so right now you can see I have one article. Let me just add another one. This is the second article, and this is the second description. Let's post, and now you can see ID2, it's added. And now if I go to the API route, you can see that I have two articles. Also I can update or delete an article. For example, if I want to just get the second article, so I can just say second. You can see that now I can update this, update it, and also we can delete this. So if you click on this, and now if I check my API route, it's deleted. Also you can check this in the Postman. So for example, the method is get. I can get, so you can see that I have this article. Also I can post. So for example, let me just create another tab, and we can just go to the body, and from here we can choose row, and we need to choose JSON, and we can paste this in here. Let's add this URL, and this should be post. I'm not going to add the ID. Let me just change this to added by Postman. I'm not going to change the description, but I can send. You can see that ID is 3, and if I get, you can see that I have 1 and also 2, 3 article. Also you can get a specific article, you can update, and there's no problem. You can do, so for example, I want to get the first one, and if I send, or not post, but it should be, so let me just go here, for example, first one, get, send, and you can see that this is the first one, the first article. Now we have our backend API. It's time to deploy this backend API to Heroku. Now before that we need to install some libraries. Now the first one is white noise. Now for handling static files, we're going to install this, even though we don't have any static files in here because we're not using any front end, and by this reason we don't have any static files. But for the admin panel and also for the browsable API, if you see in here, we have we will have static files. Now for that you need to install white noise, and it will handle static files. So first we can just say pip install white noise, and in the terminal let's just paste this, and also in the settings.py file add white noise to the middleware above all other middlewares from Django. So now we need to add this, so let me just copy this, and it's telling that it should be above all other middlewares apart from Django security middlewares. So if we go to the settings.py file and the middlewares, Django security middleware, so and here we can add this, so white noise. So after adding this, now we in the settings.py file, and here we have static URL. Now also we need to create a static root, so I can just say static root, and we can just say os.path.join, and we can just say base dir, and we can add static. Also we need to import this OS, so let me just at the top I can just say import OS, and let's just make this debug to false, and So now static URL os.path.join base URL static. Okay, so after doing this, we need to install another library, and it's called gunicorn, and it is a Python WSGI HTTP server, and we need to install this. So let me just copy this, and in here we can paste that, and let's just wait for the installation. So now it's also installed. After doing that, let's just say pip freeze and requirements.txt, and we need to create this file for the installed packages. Now it should be in the my project, in our project root directory in here, so you can see that these are the packages that we need. So let's Django Unicorn white noise. Okay, so after doing this, let's create a proc file, and then here along with the manage.py and requirements.txt, it should be we need to create a file, and we need to just call that proc file. It should be proc file, and in here we can just use web and gunicorn. And after that, you need to target the WSGI file in here, wsgi.py. So now let's just say now it's in the my project. So I can just say my project, and it should be .wsgi. So web, and after that gunicorn, my project. This is our my project .wsgi. So after doing this, let's create a new project in the GitHub. So in here I can just click on the new, and then here we need to create a project. Let me just say drf, for example, let me just call it drf deploy, like this. I'm going to just make it private, and after that let's just create repository. Okay, so now after doing this, first we need to just create just say git init. We need to initialize an mpt repository. It should be in the my project, and after doing that we need to just say git add all. So git add, git add dot, okay, like this. And after doing this, let's just commit this. So we can just say it like this. And now let's just git now let's just say git remote add origin, and now we need to just push that, so like this. So now let's just wait. So now if I check my GitHub, so let's just go to the code. So this is our project, and after this you need to open the Heroku, and we are going to create a new app. Click on create new app, and let's just give it a name. So for example, my drf, so it's available. Let's just create app. Okay, I have a lot of apps you have reached. Okay, so let me just delete my some apps from the Heroku. Okay, so now let me just create my drf, and now let's just create app. Okay, now the app is created, and now we are going to use GitHub, and from here we need to find the repository. So it's drf deploy. Let's search Yeah, this is, and now we can just click on connect. So after doing this, we need to just enable automatic deploy, and now we can just deploy branch. So now let's just wait. So now it's deployed. If I view my app, now we're receiving 400 batch requests, and that's because in our settings.py file we have made the debug to false, and now it's a production. And also now we need to add in our allowed host. So in here I can just say localhost, and after that we need to just copy this and let me paste it in here. We are going to remove this HTTPS like this. Also let me remove this. Okay, so now after doing this, let's just push this again. So I can just git add all, and let me just say, for example, second commit, and after that we can just say git branch main, and now let's push that. Okay, so now because we have enabled the automatic deploy, so you will see if I go to the overview, and it will start the deploying here. So now you can see it's deployed just now. Let's just refresh this. So now you can see this is our API route, and now I can just click on this. So now we have two data. Now I can add another data. So I can just say another data, another description. Let's post. Now it's posted, and we can just go to the API route. So now we have three data. Let's update this. So let me just say updated, and now this is updated. We can delete this, delete, and API route. And if I see, now we have just two data in here. So this is our backend REST API, and it's deployed to Heroku. But right now we are using SQLite database, the default database that is prepared by Django. So if you see my settings.py file, so let me just open. This is the settings.py file, and if you see in here, we are using SQLite. Now let's migrate our database to Postgres database. Now when you're deploying to Heroku, also you will receive a Postgres database. You need to configure that. But before that, we need to install a library. That's this library. So let me just first install this, because we need to use this library. So now this library has been installed. Now let's just say pip freeze requirements.txt like this, because we have a new library. And if you see, now this is also added. And after doing this, let's just go to the Heroku and open your project. So it's my DRF, and let's just go to the settings. And the settings, we need to just click on Revel config vars, and this is the Postgres database. Let's just copy this, and let me just go to, so this is the settings.py file, and let me just paste that in here because we need this. So now this is the name, this is the port. So first let me just add the required things that we need. So this is the default. Now Django.db.backends. Now instead of SQLite, we are going to just use Postgres. And after doing this, let me just remove this. So first we need the name, and after that we need the host, and also we need the port, also we need the PaaS, the user, so user, and also we need the password. Okay, so now let's start from the name, and first we need to add the name. So from this configuration for the name, we can just grab this. So this is the name, and let me just add that in here. After that we need the host, and name host. So this is the port. After that we have yeah, I think this is the host. So from here we can, from this add, we can just copy and paste that in here. We need the port, and this is the port. And after that we need the username and also password. So this is the username, and also for the password, this is the password. So from here we can just copy this and paste this in here. So this is our db.postgres. We have the name, we have the host, the port, the user, and also the password. Okay, so now we have our configuration in here. Now we need to just add, first we need to push this to the GitHub. So I can just say git add, and after that we can just commit this. So let me just say added Postgres, and after doing this we need to just say git push, okay. Now if I check this, let me refresh this. Okay, now it's done. So also in here it should have automatic deployment. So now let's just wait for the automatic deployment. So it's failed, and I think, oh, we need to remove this. I forgot to remove this. So now let me just say git add, and after that we can just say git commit. Let me just say PostgreSQL2, and now we can just say git push. So now let's just wait again for the automatic deployment in Heroku. So now it's deployed. Let's refresh our page and you'll see that we don't have these two data. And if I refresh this, so I think we have an error, and let me just check this. Also, I think after adding these database, we need to migrate, I think. So let me just do python manage.py and let's migrate. Yeah, I think we need to migrate. So let's just wait. Okay, the migrate has been completed. Also, let's create admin panel because we have a new database and we need to create super users. Python manage.py create super user, and we can just give a name, username, and email address. We can give a password, confirm password. So super user is created. Also now we can just say get add, and we can commit PostgreSQL. So after doing that, we need to just say get branch main and get push origin main. Okay, so now let's again just wait for the deployment. Yeah, after adding the new configuration, I think, so now we will check. After adding the database, for example, engine name, you need to just say python manage.py migrate because we have new information and you need to migrate that. So now the deployment is done. Let's refresh. Yeah. After adding the new information, you should migrate that. And you can see that this is empty because we don't have any data in here. Let's just add. This is my new data with Postgres database, and we can add a body. Let's post. Now this is posted. Also, we can go to the admin panel. So we have created a new super user, and let's just go to the admin panel. So now you can see my drf.heroku app. Let's just add our username and also password, login. Now we are logged in our admin panel, articles, and you can see we have just one article, and also you can add the article from here, from your admin panel, for example, something like that. Save. So we have two articles, and if I check this, where is, okay. So now let me just go to my main REST API. Let me just go to the, okay, now you can see that we have the second data in here. So thank you guys. If you have any question, please let me know, and for the further videos, please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and also share the video.